All right, good morning, everyone. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Thank you all for coming. We totally appreciate this. My name is Eva Shepard-Nickel. I am in charge of business development, startup stuff, and all-around good guy at Chico Start. I am here to represent, though, on behalf of 1 Million Cups. So as part of that, we normally start out by introducing our organizers, talking about our community, and talking about the purpose of this group. And then after that, we introduce our featured speaker and, go from there. So I'm going to introduce organizers first. One of the MCs and one of our business development operations people is Mr. Tim Starkey right here. Thank you very much. He also helps our presenters get started. So he gets here early, helps them get their AV ready to rock and roll. Wendy Porter, who's not with us this morning, she is our managing director at Chico Start and another organizer and sponsor. Danny Schwartz, who's the lady boss at Danny Schwartz Consulting. Thank you. And then Ken Hastings, who's our audio tech and audio guy and takes care of, I just messed that up, didn't I? And takes care of all of our needs there and does all our editing and video presentations. And then Heather Oogie from Chico Chamber of Commerce. And of course, Garden Villa Cafe, and without them, we wouldn't have this lovely, lovely place to gather. All right, so first of all, we normally like to ask if anyone's new to 1 Million Cups, and I think we have a group over here, so please introduce yourselves. We're gonna put you on the spot just for a second. So please introduce yourselves and tell us why you're here.
Hey guys, my name is Flo. I dabble in e-commerce. My recent project was helping the company grow. They started last year. I got in November, I worked with them for 2 months and helped them grow their e-commerce to different ways of marketing online. And it was grew it from in 2 months we were able to bring in the revenue from $1,000 all the way up to $200,000. And so that was in the home and garden niche. So that was pretty exciting, because I got to download a lot more money when running ads. Mm-hmm. And so that's my experience. And I saw this, we're having this right here, the wallet. So I'm very interested.
Great. Well, thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the 1 Million Cups Coffin Foundation and why there's a Chico chapter. This is a community built upon 1 million cups of coffee. They say that there's a rumor that goes around that entrepreneurs, and startups, are fueled by coffee, Adderall coffee, whatever. I'm not here to speculate, and that or pints of beer, right? And that 1 million meaningful interactions between people, in which all sides walk away feeling they were heard. So in our community, what we do is we invite people to come present from all over the North State region. And we have a small group normally that assembles for this with not only the chamber, but other smaller businesses and other entities. And then they give honest, constructive criticism and or feedback and or, yay you, right, to the presenters that come. So we appreciate the opportunity to be able to share in a safe space, right? So with that, I'm now going to introduce STOW Company. Okay. How do you want me to present you, Toby?
Toby, that's right.
Okay, well, Tobe Zane has come to us from Shasta, and he has another thing in common with our area, and that is he's also a fire survivor. And I'll let him talk about that as part of his story. But with a big round of applause, please welcome Tobe Zane. Go ahead.
Yes. It's all right.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm super excited to be here today. We're coming up from Reading. We built we're in the process of building a fantastic business up there. It's a brand new business. I've been engineering for the last 30 years, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. The company is STOW Co. The brand is STOW, and I'm here to help you give your wallet the slip and your old wallet the slip. Everybody's seen this 300-year-old dinosaur, right? Overstuffed wallet. It's really frustrating. It's a relic. It's just painful, in fact. The chiropractors love them, but we don't so much love them. So I had a wallet like that for a while. And my wife got really frustrated with it at one point, and she went out and bought this wallet here for me. It's a really great minimalist wallet, leather. Well, I was super excited, right? Got a new wallet. So I started to put my credit cards in there, and pretty soon I realized it was really difficult to get those credit cards in, and it was even more difficult to get them out after they were in there. It wouldn't hold very much cash, couple bills, and they're in the middle, very difficult to get out. And then business cards and such, punch cards, insurance cards, there's no place to put them at all. So it really wasn't working for me at all. But my wife had gifted me with this $135 wallet, and there was no way I was returning it. So I was stuck with it for a while and got more and more frustrated as the months passed. And so at one point, I figured out a solution. And that was to design and produce my own ultimate wallet. And then I could get rid of this thing. So you ask, why would he think he could design and produce his own ultimate wallet? I've got 30 years of engineering experience for very large companies. Haas, Disney, Carlisle, this is a really great client. Rebuilt the whole Sriracha, or redesigned the whole Sriracha manufacturing plant. It's super huge, amazing. So I've got a lot of experience behind it. And so with all that experience, I decided that I'd give myself a very reasonable time frame to produce this wallet. I'd give myself 1 day to design it, and then 1 day to produce it. So 1.5 years later, and a very destructive wildfire. My slides are a little out of whack. Very destructive wildfire, and multiple iterations. I can show you my ultimate wallet. I'm going to go back and hit a couple more points. So in a very small shop, Lower Springs, out in the middle of nowhere, that gets burnt, we produce all kinds of automated equipment for different companies. There's no job too small really for us, but it's amazing how these companies will come and find us and ask us to do jobs for them, and we'll just pack it up in a U-Haul or whatever and take it down and put them in their plant. So everything you see in that factory, we produced in a very small shop, about 3 of us. Casting, welding, machining. This is a representation of just one little piece of automated equipment that goes on those machines. We call it the hummingbird. Essentially, the parts come around in this vibratory bowl. They come down a chute. It's watching. This camera's watching over here, and it picks it out of the chute and loads it in, and it loads it in upright every time. So anyway, it's just fun to see that type of stuff. Essentially, we designed, we cut it all on the milling machines, integrate it, wire it, everything. So as I talked about, the fire, really devastating, took the house, business. I always thought that a thief might come steal something from me, but I never really thought about the ultimate thief, and that's the fire. It just takes everything. It doesn't even care. So after 1.5 years later, I have my ultimate wallet, and possibly have your ultimate wallet too. And so it's a full function wallet, unlike this, and it's machined out of a single piece of aluminum, 6061 aerospace aluminum. So there's no springs or elastic or anything to wear out at all. It's like a lifetime wallet. What's cool is you actually, instead of pulling the cards out like you do on this wallet, you actually push the cards out. So even people with limited dexterity can use this really efficiently. So you can spread them out. You can figure out which card you want, and you can just pull it right off the back. To put it back in, all you do is just slide it right back in. It will go either way, so however you pick it up, it works. Super cool. Like, say I need my driver's license on top. I can actually swap those cards without even taking it out of the wallet. So that's fun. Cash, I talked about cash. It'll hold up to 8 bills and miscellaneous stuff in that compartment. There's a compartment below here. So that's great. And then the punch cards and business cards and stuff, you always have that miscellaneous stuff. And if you're using a wallet like this, you don't have it. So that just fits in the back. And so you can just put about up to 5 business cards back there, depending on the thickness. So it's really functional. It's super, super tight. It's like, it has about 20 thou of extra material. That's right there, that very small thin member there, and then the thin member here. Everything else is actually used for stuff you use on a daily basis. But I didn't stop at just the wallet. I actually was able to integrate it onto a universal phone mount. And so if you just shift the cards out like that, you can slide it right on the back of your phone. And then one night I was getting in bed and I was putting this thing down on the bedstand, and I did that, and I was like, wow, it actually works as a phone stand too, so you can kind of integrate that.
That's your 6 minutes.
Uh-oh, I better go really fast. You can put it on the back of your phone too, with a magnet or on your dashboard. So that's cool. We're gonna move on. How we stack up? We're coming in at $60. We're doing mostly online presence right now. Leather wallets, $20 to $240. Ridge wallet, really big competitor. They're spending $10,000 a month on marketing on the internet. They sold about $5 million worth of product last year, which is great. We'd love to take a piece of that. There's a bunch of other wallets that are selling in the same price point. We've got a much superior product. U.S. wallet market, $4 billion in the U.S., and it's growing 4.9% every year. Just talking about men, there's 40 million men in the U.S. that are potential clients, making about 50K plus. This is our ideal man. He just purchased a STOW wallet. That's why he's smiling so much. And ladies, these people are on the go. They don't want to take more than what they need. They got the backpack, and they're moving forward with life, making deals. Nothing but 5-star reviews at this point, which is super fun to be able to get those phone calls. I was up backpacking the other day, and I got a phone call from a guy, and he's just like, which is crazy in the Alps, but he's like, I absolutely love your wallet. It's fantastic. So that's fun. Looking forward, 5 years. If we take 0.01% of the market, 0.01%, we're net income of 1.2 million over the next 5 years, which works for us. But why look for 0.01? We might as well take 0.1. I mean, at least, right? So, $12 million, that would be great, a lot better. Our greatest need is marketing right now. I come from the engineering side, behind the scenes. Marketing is tough. We're doing better and better. Jordan's on board doing some of that with me. We ran a really successful Kickstarter, brought in over 20K on that, sold about 400 wallets during that time. Jordan and I went down to KTLA TV, did a live interview, 6-minute interview on TV down there, which was crazy. But the website's up and going, the stores, we're making sales every day, which is super fun just to have those sales come in when you're eating dinner or whatnot. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Bottom line is we've got the world's most functional wallet. We've invested a bunch of money in it, own 100% of the company, so we're in good position there. I'm trying to bring together a group. I mean, I've got Jordan, I've got some other people involved in Instagram and such, but it's probably going to take a larger group to make this thing happen. We manufacture everything in-house. We can run multiple shifts. So we want to own the functional minimalist wallet market, might as well, with our 0.1%. My ask is for people to help us show off our awesome wallet by, Facebook, Instagram, that's awesome. Just talk word of mouth. That's really where we're pushing is word of mouth. People pull them out at the cash register and they talk about it. So I ask you, are you ready to give your old wallet a slip?
All right. Question and answer. 20 minutes. Is there springs in there? How does it?
I've got a bunch of show and tell stuff. I can pass them around. It's kind of fun to be able to feel it. Feel free to have them, but it's machined out of a single piece of aluminum. So when
Anybody that knows anything about aircraft aluminum, not saying the main room does, but I do. So it's a hard alloy, and that hard alloy. So when you said 6160, that's what that means.
and it's got some capacity to be a spring. It can be overbent and it will come back to its original shape. So literally it comes off of the machine, it goes in as a block and comes out as a non-finish. We're putting a powder coat on there, which is a very durable coating.
And that just kind of locks it in.
Right. So it locks it in either way, which is fun So it's all in the design, and this is some of the packaging we're doing.
I like the packaging.
Yeah, the only problem is that it's got a footprint to it with the plastic and
Oh, yeah,
everything.
yeah.
So we're wanting to go more minimal on it.
So
But
your demographic is that.
well, what's funny is
My wife would like the phone mount with this especially. She loves this kind of thing. So I think that, yeah, not just men.
Well, I'm just curious what your ideal demographic is.
with both for sure, women and men. I mean, we originally I designed it for myself, right?
Okay.
But I soon realized that everybody, there's a lot of people using it, young and old even. I have some old, my dad loves it, absolutely loves it. He'll sell it all day long when he's out running around.
So the functionality of this, I see being super important to both. It doesn't matter, but the branding and marketing that you're doing screams male to me. Like the colors, the logo, your messaging, it screams male.
Right.
So I see the potential, especially when you're starting to talk about, right, like moms, busy moms who like have 2 minutes or less to get to their wallet between the time they can take their eyes off their child and like purchase a coffee.
Right.
But like, this screams like something I would buy for my dad or my partner or something else. So I think there's a lot of potential. I just start thinking about like the factors, like not to be super like vain, but like the cute factor. Where are the cute ones?
Right.
The ones with yeah.
That's the one I was
Okay, I
saying no women. I was like,
yeah. So like yeah,
That's a
I
tough
think
step.
that the potential is there, but like just some of that screams male-dominated brand.
Yeah, the
So maybe
logo.
having, I know that you said your son is there, maybe having a female like oversight, like helping would maybe help because I think there's a good potential to reach both.
I'd love to have you guys follow us on our Instagram post because I got a lady doing that. And it screams female all the way through. But it's really difficult to market to different clients. I mean, I've thought about doing like 2 Instagram posts, one that's male dominated and one that's female, just to try and get.
Well, even if it's just for A/B testing, I mean, Danny makes a very good point. So, and I'll only speak for myself personally. So when I first met Tobe up at the Reading Venture Conference and saw his presentation there, I was immediately attracted to the product, not just because I'm an aerospace geek, but because I carry around so much crap, it's not even funny. And all my kids are out of the house, so I have no excuse. But I want something that's, one-handed, right? I want something that's one-handed. I want something that's easy to find in my purse. I want something that has a texture to it. Like, some of these designs have a texture to them as well. So I was immediately attracted, but to her point, right, you definitely can tell that it's much more, it has nothing to do with the sound effects you use. And it doesn't so much, I mean, that's kind of I don't worry about the logo per se, personally. I'm always speaking about myself personally, right? But I think it could be easy just to do a small tweak, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be able to say that you've taken into consideration not only the other demographics and other age groups, right? But also their needs.
Right.
So I will say, cruising your Instagram, I don't know if your Instagram brand aligns with what I'm seeing here, because this to me screams young and fun and has like both. And not that that doesn't scream young and fun, but the presentation itself doesn't line up super with the Instagram, but I am loving what you're doing with Instagram. And I think that incorporating some of that, and even like some of these colors, like the colors that you guys have for like the highlights, like the yellow and green, they're
Right.
super neutral and they're fun, and I think could appeal to both.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like the black, not that females don't like black, but whenever I see black and gray and branding, I'm like, they're not speaking.
Yeah.
Aesthetic. There's a certain aesthetic that you're identifying with that reminds you of the painting, and it means the metal, too, the metal aspect of it.
But I do social media and I love your Instagram. I really like it, yeah.
I'm thinking that, everybody is wearing really super tight clothes. So this, well, true, skinny jeans. Where do you put even a normal size ball? Yeah, where do you put your phone? You've got your phone and it's really slimline wallet you have. I'm thinking people who are out on ski slopes and you don't carry a purse or
Right.
a big wallet with you. This would be ideal in one of those situations where your clothing is sweet and you want your hands free to get to the stuff you know.
Yeah. Our biggest issue with this wallet is that people tend to not know it's with them. They're always like searching for it, trying to figure out whether it's actually with them or not, which it actually is somewhat frustrating because it just kind of disappears and it freaks you out a little bit. But that's
Have
it.
you guys looked at doing any affiliate programs or kind of like online? I used to work at Lulu's Fashion Lounge, which started as a little store and now it's being valued as $1 billion company, right? At least that's pretty close to when I left. And their big thing was these affiliate programs, Instagram too. I was looking at this thinking about there's probably a lot of YouTubers who are minimalist or backpacking YouTubers, minimalist channels. I don't know if you guys have looked at any of that kind of social.
And these guys are hikers. They're family. It's like, so that's.
I follow some of those guys, and they have a lot. There's some that have a million viewers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Potential,
So speaking to what he just said, and speaking to what Eva just said about you being a hiker, something that, like you were saying, it's hard to reach everyone, right? So you have 4 million, or was it 4 billion?
$4 billion.
4 billion and then 40 million potential men, right?
We're like 70
So
to
it's
80
hard to
men.
reach everyone. So have you thought about niching, right? Like, so it makes sense to start with what you're passionate about. So if you're passionate about being outdoors, it makes sense to start niching within the outdoor market, partnering up with brands that are already doing what you're doing. Like, and to his point, not just affiliates, but also co-branding with other organizations makes a lot of sense to me.
Right.
I was thinking Outside Magazine. I'm listening to like thinking Outside Magazine. I'm thinking about where they highlight products of the year that comes up, or stuff that we're interested in, or
REI, or wholesaling it to a brand like Yosemite, where they can put their own stamp on it and then
national parks.
potentially sell it like that, because I see that being a potential great revenue for you
Osprey,
guys.
maybe. I don't know if they've gotten into those kind of.
Osprey. We all 4 out of the 5 of us had Osprey packs on,
Yeah.
going up in the middle of the night the other day.
So I had 2 different items. One, since it's nice to put on your phone, as well as that, is to try to partner up with some sort of phone accessory company. Because it's an awesome phone accessory, not just a wallet. So it's a whole different side of it when you think, oh, I need that accessory because I just wanted a phone case, but it's also a wallet for me. So if I would have seen this next time, I was like, oh, buy those. People like to buy these together.
Right.
The cover and this, and have a package bundle.
Right.
And then, this is awesome, because we go to a lot of trade shows, is if you did these in like industrial plastic or mold injection, that way you can bring the cost way down.
Yep.
And you can sell them to the actual, like, Chico Star. This would be an awesome thing to hand out. And if they're made out of plastic, then we can get our name put on the Chico Star still on the side. I buy like 300 of them.
Right.
That way that brings up your revenue, but you still have the high-end one, because the plastic one may not last that long.
I'm gonna say that it's gonna suck if it's plastic. The whole thing is
But
that
this
it's
is an
strong.
upsell. So this is one that gets them to use it, gets them to try it, they like it, and then they go, ooh, I want them.
Right.
But I think to his point is the differentiating, what makes your product different is the fact that it's not product, they're plastic, that it's super solid. Because
And I see
that's
somebody scanning this and doing it plastic within years.
Yeah. I've done a lot of plastic injection
That's my
molds for
next
other
one.
companies.
Yeah.
So we've got the capability to do that now from the get-go. It was like the plan to do that. What I was worried about is screwing up the market by introducing it too early, or I want to have something to compete with other people
That was
for.
going to be the next question, was around IP, but Elaine had her hand up.
Yes.
first, So I was going to.
Popular Science Magazine runs a section on cool gadgets.
Yep.
I'll send one to them.
Yep. Yeah, I hadn't thought about popular science. For some reason, I love looking at it, but I never.
Too.
Yeah, popular mechanics. By the way, I think we're going to be featured in Real Simple magazine in August, which should be pretty good. That takes that market.
Oh, just wait until Oprah finds it.
You need a female, I love giving my opinion, whether people ask for it or not.
All right, over on this side, you have any ideas?
Well,
my question is, I know someone brought it up about doing more marketing, presenting influencer marketing. How much of that are you doing right now?
What did we spend? About $200 last month, so really not much at all on marketing. We've been trying to set up the website and get it set up to where it looks good.
Where are you spending the $200?
We just did some Pinterest type stuff, Facebook, Instagram.
There's big influencers out there too, like on YouTube and Instagram.
Right.
And backpackers, there's one.
And the thing is you don't need a huge influencer. So like that's the biggest mistake I see people make. They go, we don't have 10 grand to get like the Kardashian, right? So anyone who has like a small budget and a smaller following is considered an influencer. I mean, as long as they can track their analytics and you have like special like links and you're able to track the value, you can get someone who's like on a smaller scale that has a smaller following. It doesn't need to be a huge dollar spend, just someone who's influential.
Right.
Right.
So my question was around intellectual property and what you guys may or may have not patented yet, etc.
Good question. We do have a patent pending sent in. It's about 6 months old, so we've got to really focus on that very, very soon and get that going. Patents are only as good as you have the money to fight for them, right? But you might as well try to get something in the works, because you can get like a 3 years time frame, because you can get a year up front just in the patent pending process, and then you can get another couple of years where nobody knows what you're patenting, so they can't go around it quite as easy. But you also have to fight for it. So we've got that. We've got some like the STOW brand. We've got that trademarked, and we're working through that. STOW Co. There's actually another STOW London product, but it's over in England. Is that right? And right. So I think we're okay there, but for sure, any of this type of stuff, it's super helpful. Thanks for bringing that up.
And so what's your primary channel where you're doing both your marketing and getting the most return right now? And to add to that, what's stopping you from tapping into the influencer marketing right now?
We do have an ambassador program that we're running where we sent out probably 30 wallets to different people that are for free as ambassadors to get us photos and stories and different things on Instagram. Instagram hasn't been as great as what I thought it might be. I think Facebook might be better at this point. So I don't know if I answered your question exactly, but probably not. Go ahead and state it again.
Yeah, so you're the primary channel where you're getting the bulk of the sales from.
Okay, so can you answer that?
It's mostly direct right now because it's what we've done in the past with our Kickstarter, and people are just like finding out about us organically and going directly to our site with our link. But right now we're trying to grow definitely through our social media to get people clicking on it, and also working with a company in Reading starting soon to get us something Google, custom product ads, SEO and stuff like that.
Andrew Hewitt up in Reading, he was part of the Reading Venture Conference. He's come on board and he's going to get us working that analytics, and we have to get on Amazon, I believe. Yeah, I mean, we haven't quite done that yet.
Have you guys hit the? I'm always thinking about, on like Father's Day, or I think it's a cool product too. If someone was looking out there, like what do I get for the guy who has everything? It's sort of one of those niche things where you're like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, we did pretty well. I mean, we've got about 900 followers or 800 and something followers on Instagram, so we pushed that out for Father's Day.
Amazon, when I tried to find Father's Day gifts, had the weirdest, crappiest stuff. It was like a G-string, like a banana. Right on the G-string that came out.
What is that not what you get your dad?
So if you were able to get on there, at least myself, I definitely went there, more so just trying to get ideas to give my spouse. So if you're able to get on Amazon and kind of get connected with the whole gifts for guys, gifts for Father's Day,
So we got to focus on Christmas. That's the next one up. Let's push Christmas.
That could be a big avenue.
I'm just curious if you have actually done any trade shows, especially kind of going back to what you were talking about a niche market, anything those that are in that niche market. I used to work for the Commission of Visitors here in San Francisco, that kind of show. And the gift show might be something to think about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so there is a show for gifts. I've been to the toy shows because I used to do a lot of toys and such.
Do you have the margin for traditional retail?
It's challenging. It's not nearly as enticing. I mean, we're right now just because it takes about 12 minutes to produce one, and it's machine time. So essentially, you put in a block and you hit go, and it comes out the other end. And then during the time it's running, there's plenty of time to do the sandblasting and coat it. You know, he's coating like 15, 20 at a time. So there's some margin, but by the time you pay machine time and upkeep on the
What's
machine,
the cost for one?
I would say it's about $18 at this point.
You're retailing it for 60.
60. So there is, but it's
So the cogs only don't take into account the marketing costs, right? Okay.
right. And we're figuring on spending at least $7 or $8 per wallet to market.
The more
So
we make it, the more time it brings in. Cheaper gas.
85% of all retail spending is still happening in brick and mortar stores. So you're missing out, in my opinion, especially with something like this. Like somebody, in order to sell it, they need to play with it. There's this tactile experience, and that's not going to happen online as easily as it could be when they get it in their hands. So something like Gift Show, where you can expose it to traditional retailers, especially players.
right.
Especially for holidays. I mean, because if it's out there and people can play with it, and that spreads the word, and then your online sales will increase as the retail sales increase.
And I think picking some friendlies, and I don't know if you know what I mean by that, but picking some friendlies, retail stores, fronts that sell to upper, kind of upper middle class, and sell an upper middle class product like 100 or above, then you'll have the opportunity, perhaps with a handful of those, to learn what works in a point of purchase. Arena, what works around a point of sale, what was right, how do you fine tune your messaging, and how do you encourage that hands-on, I'll play with it, get a feel for it first, kind of feel, as, in a typical product ramp up, there's that education portion, right? And so, and then after that, there's the old paradigm, like the early adopters and the, right? And I'm sorry, I'm speaking of 90s speak, but, it's true. There's in real life, there's a trickle down effect, and when you get about the middle, people will buy it because they've heard of it and know of it, and will play with it once they get it and less worried about it. There's that whole education piece that's going to be the slower part of the hockey stick, right? And then you could see a curve after that.
Could launch
Right.
at that point.
But she's making a good point. And I think when I say pick friendlies, that will give you the opportunity to have pilot programs, so to speak, to figure out the details. Right.
What's your exit strategy if you have one? Would you just sell the intellectual property and just, make $2 per and let someone else do all the work?
I've designed so many different products over the years, and that's been always my thought. Okay, let's exit that way. It kind of depends on how it's launching. Like Ridge Wallet's into it, which is, they've got a lot of knockoffs. This happens to be a knockoff. They've sold millions of them, and they're terrible to use. But they've been in about 6 years, and they're just continuing to go, and they're marketing really hard because they don't have a great product. People look at it and they think they like it. So exit strategy, I'm not sure which way to go, whether it is, if a company comes in and offers me a couple $1 million, yeah, probably wouldn't take it. But I'm also tempted, if it's launching, to just go ahead and ride it out for a while.
Well, then that begs the next question, which is what's your product development strategy? Like, so beyond the initial product, so I personally know you have one that holds 6 cards and one that holds 8, but beyond that, like, what are other products you can be coming out with the STOW mentality? So that would be, again, targeting, early adopters, having probably a metal, product. What is that next product?
Right. Obviously, it's really difficult to produce a superior product that you really want to stand behind.
Sure.
I've got some different.
You mean you can't design it one day and then manufacture the next?
So this is kind of some insight, and the problem is this isn't right down like this line, but this is a super cool concept, and instead of taking the cap off your pins every time and using them and then putting them away, why don't you put the cap right there in the
Things
stand?
that bother Toby for 200.
That's right.
Right. And how am I going to fix that?
I love that.
I think for the secondary market, when you present it in Reading, I have the idea because even with this, I put my wallet with my cards in here, and my phone has RFID, so have little stickers you can put on the card. So if you don't put the card back in the wallet, your phone will like ding, 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 and let you know that you left it somewhere or you left it at home. So it gets outside of the area. So that way you can sell stickers all the time for the stuff that goes with their phone.
That's a great idea. I hadn't come across the
And for
sticker
people who
thing.
leave their cards at bars by accident.
You know what I've done? One thing I like about having my thing together,
You're missing one of your cards.
if you could somehow build in, what's the company? There's a company that makes the little beeping
Tile.
You know, if you could somehow make this beepable, that's losing my wallet. It's kind of over there.
It's in there.
Shoes,
That would be awesome.
And we're definitely going down that way. Here it is, Jordan.
How does that? So if you could.
So it'll actually fit. It was designed to fit here.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So that would be a cool co-branding, or
It could be hidden.
Yeah, total upsell.
I was gonna do another Kickstarter to launch that. I would love to have Tile.
I think that would be great.
Instead of having the packaging, let us machine it in and then package it into the
So
aluminum.
why do a Kickstarter when you can just have Tile be your partner and have them help with the investment?
Right? Can you imagine just having the tile right there machined into the aluminum from the backside and put a cover right in there? I think it would be so sweet.
That would be awesome.
I did know when I was at Lulu's, there was a CPO came in and he works on the tile account.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any kind of possible connection there, but I could look into it.
I would love that. We actually tried to get a hold of them before we launched the Kickstarter, and we haven't gotten very much traction there.
Trap hand didn't hurt. So.
Going back to social media, I saw you're not really implementing video either. As of last year, Instagram is hot with videos. So if you can create some sort of compelling storytelling with your wallet, make it like sleek, sexy, how to show how to use it, or even just like tapping into the travel and stuff and having people show it, because your pictures are stunning and aesthetically pleasing, but I think video will help boost up your engagement and bring more people in.
I totally agree, and that's just been a part of just trying to get our feet on the ground and get running. We're only 4 months in, but obviously you can do a lot in 4 months if you have the right team. So we're trying to put together that team. We do have a bunch of videos on YouTube channel, STOW.
So you can leverage those on both of these. You could just have leverage everything you have on Instagram, and you can just say.
Couple more
like,
questions,
Facebook.
2 more minutes.
Okay, sorry.
So my wallet has a card lock on it. I got it at Walmart for like 10, 20 bucks, something like that. So does this do any RFID blocking of any kind?
It does when it's on the back of your phone, because you got the aluminum there and you got the phone on the other side. So yes, it is. You can take an RFID blocking card, a single card, and put it anywhere in the wallet, and the whole wallet will be blocked. Everything in there.
So you can have that over here.
So that would be a branded. I mean, they have a lot of them. Right. Yeah. But people can fly.
It's a given.
That's the whole point of money.
Okay, so yes, this is a departure from a product development standpoint, but I'm sorry. But if I could see if you were going to continue to do stuff for the co-branding market for office challenge key and things like that, right? And office, and high-end office decor. I could see where something like that would come in. Just out of curiosity, what else do you guys have up your site?
Well, down that same line, the dry eraser markers are always going bad because they're laying sideways. So it'd be the same thing for a dry erase board. You don't have to take the cap off. I've got a paper airplane design, which I'd love to do. Did it about 14, 15 years ago, but it was a long time. I didn't have the internet marketing stuff. It's super cool. It's a fuselage that goes into a standard paper airplane, and then all of a sudden you can launch it.
Maker Faire selling something similar out of carbon fiber.
Oh, really? I haven't seen that one.
It comes with a rubber band and a hook that goes on there.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. He was doing really good.
But what I'd love to do is have the kids be able to download the different plane designs, and then they can decorate them themselves, print them off on their own printer, and then even to the point where they could print them off on their own 3D printers. It'd be just fun to have them do that kind of stuff. So we're always coming up with different designs and ideas, but this one's definitely our flagship. It's got traction, we're moving.
Speaking of design, have you thought about, since so she prototyped her own product for a high school capstone, and she looks, she studies a lot of the wall design and how it works. She's always telling me all these different designs. And so one of the things that I've noticed when she brings up a lot is that, like that hole right there on top of the wall, I'm pretty sure it's off to push out the products.
Right.
Have you thought about that?
This is limited.
Right, definitely. I mean, I've got this little cutout here to get to these cards. But what's cool about this is the main stuff you're using, credit cards. It's a push, and you're totally exposed. It's open to be pushed anyway. But yeah, I've seen those that have that, and yeah, it would probably be good for this. Although I don't know if you'd get enough pressure to get all those cards out with that. And you would just probably hit the first card out. It wouldn't take everything out. So yeah, good suggestion. I like it. It's fun. You always have different ideas you can put into it. Thank you for all your insight.
Tim's got it.
All right, so thank you very much. Did everybody enjoy that?
One more time.
Lots of questions. So thank you for your time and your thing. We're gonna have a mug for you. Say thank you.
Wow, look at that.
Who's got a picture?
Somebody needs to take the photo off. Hold on.
We're gonna do it this time before everybody left.
We're gonna take it off so we can really grind that picture.
So I want to thank everyone for their time this morning, for showing up, for putting their awesome input, and please do share about the product. Share about the product with your friends and family. Let's see if we can get a little spike on your website in the next couple of days and see what happens. Thank all the organizers, all our volunteers, and all our sponsors for all their hard work and the time and every week. So, do we have someone next week?
No, because it's
4th of July.
Next week is a holiday, is right 4th of July
So,
holiday. But
no
the
show
week
next
after
week?
that, we're having Rent.
Oh,
Also from Rent.com.
Nathan's
So-
awesome. That's going to be an awesome presentation, too.
Right.
He's
And
good.
that's a portal for renters that also helps them create credit. Because when you're a renter, you don't really get the kind of credit that you do as a mortgage holder. And so they're working with, I'll let them tell you more. Anyways, about that, and also working with kind of rewards. Like you get rewards for everything else, right? So I wanted to get rewards for like that.
Paying your rent bills on time.
Nice.
So thank you for showing up to 1 Million Cups. Everyone have a great day. Go be awesome. We'll see you next time.
Go be awesome.